everybody, and welcome to From the Mezzanine, the Broadway podcast for the Broadway fans, where we talk about all things Broadway news, Broadway grosses, and let's be honest, all of the tea and gossip that happens week to week in the Broadway stratosphere. I'm your host, Lindsay Stone, and to my right is my right-hand man. It is Bryn Harvey Raymond.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. Did you miss me?
Because I missed you. What's up, Bryn?
Oh, it is a late night podcast session.
Yeah.
Which is
late.
fun.
We're recording before the big weekend festivities of Broadway Con, Romeo and Juliet.
Fingers crossed.
No, we'll get the text, right?
No, we will.
What time are you going to get to the Rush Line tomorrow?
6:30?
Oh my God, I didn't know it was that early. I didn't think you had to fight for those.
Well, there's a week left.
Yeah.
Closes next Sunday.
6:30.
And I think there's probably a lot of people in town because of Broadway Con.
Yes, there's going to be more, but I wonder if that's going to really cause an influx. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we'll be okay.
Are you thinking I'm going to like it? What do you think?
I'm
Predict
really
what I'm going to say next week on From the Mezzanine.
I think you might say that vibes are great.
Mm-hmm.
Cast is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
You liked kind of a lot of the newer touches that they've added onto it, but it still felt like Shakespeare, which isn't your favorite.
Okay.
Which is kind of exactly how I feel about it.
And do you think I'm going to be swoon central for Kit Connor?
I hope so.
You think I'm going to die?
I hope you do.
Oh, I'm trying not to say anymore on the podcast.
Oh, say that. Like that. Like in your
how we
sentences?
say all the time.
Do
all
I say
the
it a lot?
time? I don't know. I haven't
Because
noticed.
it really drives me crazy when other people do.
I say it all the time. And I also say a lot. And I'm trying. I'm I have a podcast. I shouldn't be saying these. What are those words called?
Filler words.
Filler words. Shouldn't be using those as much as I do, but I do. But it's because I'm on here and I'm talking and I'm thinking while I'm doing it. So
yeah, I always feel bad when I judge people for it. But there have been people in some of my classes, see, I just said it, but grad school classes, and I have counted, and they've said it 20. I just said it.
It's so bad.
20 times in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's every 5 words, and it drives me insane.
I don't catch on to it. And I think that's to my detriment. So now I'm trying to catch on to it more. But we also are not going to be policing our speech on here. It's okay that we say sometimes. Sometimes there's
speech.
Nothing else to say. But one time I was referred to as a vocal fried out theater kid. And I'm trying to fight that stereotype. So I'm going to stop saying and all the time. And I'm going to use my hearty voice from my diaphragm. No vocal fry over here on From the Mezzanine.
You know what I got on Snapchat the other day?
What?
It was a memory of me from 4 years ago recording myself singing Driver's License.
Real singing?
Trying to sing.
Oh, give us a little bit.
It's not good.
We're I got my driver's license last week.
Yeah.
We always.
I'll show you
Driver's
later.
license was on Glee. Who would have sang it?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think it would have been Rachel Berry.
Yeah.
Or it could have been a Rachel and Kurt mashup, and they're each singing about Finn and Blaine and how they broke their heart, and it's going back and forth. But knowing Glee, they would have done some weird shit where it was Emma Pillsbury singing about Will.
Yeah. Yeah. Or it would have been Sue singing about
herself.
Something. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's a good question.
I think we should do some Glee impressions. Do your Rachel Berry singing face.
Oh,
when she's like this. She's crying when she's.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it.
No hate to Leah Michelle. I love that queen.
Do Kurt. This is a podcast. You have to speak.
Oh, when he does the tuck the hair behind the ear but it's not even, it's just up top. When it's in his audition in the pilot, he's singing Cellophane, Mr. Cellophane wouldn't get. Anyway, from Chicago. I will say last weekend I saw Chicago.
Yeah,
That's all I'll say about that.
No, you have to tell us because I've never seen it.
I don't like that show.
Mm-mm.
I have somehow seen it 3 times. First time I went for Jinx Monsoon, and I didn't know much about Chicago. It was early on in my theater kid days. It was 2 years ago, but it was before I was like really into everything. And, you know, Jinx was great. And I was like, am I uncultured for not liking that show? And then I went back with my sister to see Ariana Madix. And I actually like didn't hate it. I didn't love it. But Ariana Madix and Robin Herder were so good that it was like decent. And then last weekend I was like, I just hate this show. Like it's just really boring.
Yeah.
Some of the songs are good. I think like it's really dependent on the cast and if the performers like are really putting on a show for you.
And Erica Jane.
And Erica Jane was unfortunately not. I fear the only person who will get me back in that building is Trisha Paytas.
Which it looks like Trisha is putting out a plea to be in Little Shop. I think we might get that. Did you not see that? She posted. She was like, I'm manifesting it. And it was her singing outside of Little Shop.
Well, did you see the merch that she sold at her show? It was a hat that said Trisha for Roxy.
Yes.
Like Roxy Hart.
Yes.
Because like
that'll
Chicago
happen.
Roxy Hart is definitely the most stunt cast role on Broadway.
No
I
question.
feel.
That could happen like that. I'm surprised it hasn't happened already.
But anyway, mid-show, my sister leans over and she goes, did someone sing this on Glee? And I was like, that's the content I'm here for.
Practically the entire musical.
Practically, but it was Mr. Cellophane. I said, yes, it was Kurt's audition song when he tucks his little hair.
That's a terrible song.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Like, I do not like that
great.
song. The only song I like is Cell Block Tango. And like the
all that
oh,
jazz.
Yes, oh yes, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
all of the male songs suck.
Yeah.
Isn't that the only? Is that the only one?
Really?
Don't know.
No, not good. But there's one guy in it who was playing her husband, I think. And I was kind of like, oh, that'll be cool to see him. I had seen him at Company.
Oh, okay.
And then he was out and I was like, okay, whatever. You know, people call out. I think he's in Urinetown. Greg Hildreth.
Don't know.
Or maybe he's in Schmigadoon. He's in one of the two.
Don't know.
But anyway.
Oh, I do know who you're talking about. And I do think he is in Schmigadoon right now. He's got a very clean face.
No.
Oh, okay.
I think he might be in Urinetown.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, not my favorite, but my big win of the weekend was my sister left me a note when she left.
Okay.
And it said,
oh, yes.
Outsiders over Chicago.
Like,
which is like, I won.
That is the most obvious statement I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, but she has given me so much hate.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Over the last year for dissing Chicago. Like when I posted my TikTok of my yearly like sorting and Chicago was in the low pile, she was so pissed. She was like, it's only because I like it. But then we saw it last weekend. She was like, wait, this is bad. She was like, do people come actually to see the show or are they just coming for the actors? And I was like, well,
both for sure.
It is like a touristy show. Like I feel like it's very European in its audiences. Like I at Chicago more than any other show, probably Wicked too. I just haven't been to Wicked in a while. Hear people speaking other languages and like, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I know Wicked for sure does it where you can get the audio in your ears of any language.
Yeah.
I don't know if Chicago does it, but they have a whole thing outside of like, welcome to Chicago in like all these different languages.
Yes.
So they might do that as well.
I'm sure they do.
Which would make sense. It's like
it's just super touristy.
Yeah.
And it's been around for forever and it's very inexpensive. It's very much so like Phantom of the Opera was before it closed. The audience was very international and very empty and the seats were very cheap. So it's like, okay, let's check off seeing a Broadway show. They're going to go see Chicago and be like, that was great.
It was actually pretty busy.
Idea.
It was pretty full. Like they apparently, the guy at the box office said they had been selling out. But I think that was only because of Erica Jane.
Apparently pretty big. I don't even know who she is really. I've never watched her.
I learned my sister sat me down for 2 hours the night before and said, here you go. Here is her story.
Was she fabulous? Not in the show, but as a person. Did you like what you saw?
She's kind of corrupt.
Oh, yeah. She is. Yeah.
She's
There's crime.
Corrupt.
Yeah.
But like, she was also like a victim.
Question mark.
So like, you know.
Interesting.
Let's
talk about something better.
Let's talk about something nicer.
Let's talk about Brent Comer at 54 Below. Let's talk about it. It was the best night. And shout out to the Broadway bestie who got us with the tickets. Like, you are our queen, our icon. We'll see you this weekend at Broadway Con. She is the creator of the Broadway Buddy. Go and look it up. It's a fabulous item. She is not paying me to say this, but I just want to thank her for, one, inviting us to Brent Comer, and two, sending us her Broadway Buddy, which is basically this, like, it's a very nicely made pouch that you can insert your playbill in to ensure that it stays protected the whole night you're out on Broadway. Because we all know, like, for me, I throw it into my bag or it somehow winds up on the floor and then we all stomp on it. So the Broadway Buddy is a great way to keep and preserve your playbill.
It's a very smart invention.
Yeah. I'll put her handle in the show notes below. But anyways, shout out to her for
Thank you, Sam,
bringing us along to Brent's 54 Below show, which was truly an amazing night.
So Lindsay and I haven't talked about it since we saw it, like,
No, we
since
haven't.
Monday night.
Mm-mm.
I don't know about you.
What?
It, like, re-awoke some weird, like, theater kid in me.
Okay.
Like, it is all I have thought about
Oh my God.
for the last 4 days.
Okay.
I cannot tell you how many times I've listened to my voice memo of him singing I Dreamed a Dream.
Yeah.
Like, probably 45 plus.
That is so funny.
Like, it finishes and I restart it.
wow.
Like,
He needs to put out an album of covers after that night. What was your favorite song he sang?
I Dreamed a Dream.
Really? I loved the Daryl's Dirty Work medley, but specifically the In the City. I love that part. That's the video I've been rewatching, and it's on my TikTok and Instagram, and you can find the videos everywhere, all over everything.
They're everywhere.
But go to From the Mezzanine to find it. And he sang such an array of songs. He sang all kinds of Broadway songs that we were not expecting, like I Dreamed a Dream. From
he posted
Les
that on Instagram. I knew that was coming.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he posted a clip
his,
of him singing.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, what else did he sing?
He sang Fast Car, which is one of my favorite
Yes.
songs, and I love that. I did try posting that on TikTok, and they took it down for copyright.
Oh,
I had to
what?
post under a minute of it. I couldn't post the full thing.
How weird.
So weird. His Brent's Love medley, which included Birds of a Feather.
Yeah, that was whenever
Which
I
was
was a Long
great.
Island iced tea in and working on a rum and coke. So I like the last 30 minutes, I'm pretty sure I was just like,
Yeah.
and you can see it in the background of people's videos.
I was about
which
to
I'm
say.
really happy about.
We were on the
Not.
side of the stage, and we are definitely in some people's videos. But he sang Stay Gold, which was gorgeous.
Beautiful.
He could not get it at the start. He had to restart because he missed the cue. Which
He also got the lyrics wrong on 9 to 5, and that one was beautiful. I loved him
Yes.
singing that.
It was overall so good. I actually want to go back.
He briefly sang La Vie Boheme
And Moving Too Fast.
over and over and over again. He kept tempting us, saying, "Did I just hear an alarm start ringing?" And then he'd be like, "No, we're not singing it." And every single time I was like slapping Brent across the face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And it always
I am
so.
heavily thinking about going again.
I know you are. One time is just never enough for you, huh?
No. He has a show on March 3rd, which also happens to be his birthday. And I'm thinking about just going and seeing if they have Student Rush, because someone did Student Rush the other
Student
day.
Rush. So
And
true.
I'm like, I will literally sit I just want to audio record the whole thing so I can listen to it.
yeah. Is that legal?
I mean, is video recording legal?
Yeah. So
What's
yeah.
different? I'm not
I
publishing
don't know.
it.
I'm just curious.
I'm not profiting off of it.
It was surprising to me how many people were recording, because whenever I went the first time, nobody was videoing.
Well, it was
It's
kind of
different,
funny
though.
because the minute that it was the minute he started singing Runs in the Family Reprise, phone galore.
yeah.
Like phone museum. You could tell it was very Outsiders fan base, obviously.
What else would it be? And he had his theater director, which was so cute. His high school
So
theater
cute.
director. And his opening song took me by such surprise. It set the vibe so well. It was the going down, down in an earlier round. Sugar, we're going down swinging. So good.
it was so good.
Unexpected,
I just,
but loved.
Yeah.
He is such a supremely talented vocalist. I kept watching his theater director instead of Brent, just to be like, you created that. Like, you had a hand in that. And I was surprised he was keeping it together, but it was very cute to watch him.
I am actually in utter shock. I realized, because he is a huge football guy, Brent Comer.
Oh, for sure.
his show on Sunday is during the Super Bowl.
Oh, wait, that's crazy.
Which is so crazy.
Oh, I didn't realize he had a show this weekend.
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
February 9th.
I guess he doesn't care because his man.
Because the Ravens are out.
Yeah, they're out.
But the show was booked before he knew they were out.
That's shocking.
I know. So I'm like, I don't know, maybe someone will post one for sale because they'll realize it's during the Super Bowl. But no, if anyone hears of a ticket for March 3rd, let me know.
So funny.
I don't. Anyway.
We don't need to make it a therapy conversation.
No, I already had therapy today.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, Slay, any last words for dear friend Brent Comer?
I was thinking about this on the way over because we're going to answer some fun questions later.
Yes.
And I was just thinking about some things. I truly think out of all the Broadway shows that are on Broadway, my speech impediment.
You're cracking me up tonight.
This is what happens when it's 9 p.m. Out of every show currently on Broadway, his performance as Daryl Curtis is the best.
So let's talk about that.
I don't want to talk about it.
No, let's talk about it. Because I don't disagree. I just I need to take into account the other performances that are occurring. You haven't seen John Cardoza as Christian in the Moulin Rouge. I'm not saying that I think it would be better, but John Cardoza is better than Aaron Tveit as Christian. I love Aaron Tveit, but John Cardoza embodies Christian.
We have a month
better way,
and then we have to go within the next
month.
We
do. And Andy Carl is just now in as the Duke, and I need to see him because I love him. After
we just need to go before you know who joins.
Yeah, we will. I'm down to go on a weekday.
Okay. I'll enter the lottery again. Okay, maybe not.
Let's keep thinking about who else.
There's definitely so many that are so close. Maybe I would have 5 that are tied across the board.
Are we only talking male performance or any performance?
Well, the minute you get into Audra, it gets complicated.
He's better than Audra.
I'm sorry. There is nothing to me. No, I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Say it.
A man who can make himself cry like that on stage
nightly,
night after night after night after night. I saw that show too many dang times in January, and he has not once not cried.
It's insane.
In that last scene when he is sitting on at the corner of the table when Pony and Johnny are singing Stay Gold and he is sobbing, gorgeous.
Yeah.
I actually just...
It's so insane.
It's
so
insane.
One of my favorite quiet moments of Brent's acting, which I feel like I said on the interview with him, by the way, I interviewed him. So if you're a Brent stan, click on the link and watch the interview because it was very good. But the moment after he slaps Ponyboy and then he falls to his knees
he sits on the floor.
And the lights go down, nobody's supposed to be looking at him.
I'm looking.
His face never just most actors would just calm your face. No, he's literally sitting there and he's like, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this, or if you're watching on Spotify, sorry to my audio listeners, but his face is just
like he's questioning everything.
He's crying and he never just zones out. He never stops. No. He's so unbelievable. I know. I don't disagree that he's the best performance, and it is so ridiculous. Were the Tony committee people were they blind? Why was he not nominated? It's insane.
I tried to justify it and I'm like, maybe it's because it's not a big enough role, blah blah blah.
No, it
but
is.
If Brandon Victor Dixon from Hell's Kitchen could be nominated, then Brent Comer could be nominated.
That part.
But I have 2 other small moments in the show where he blows me away. One is during Grease Got a Hold, when they're all having the time of their life being hooligans on stage. And he is on the side, arms crossed, pissed. He does not break once. I never told you about Josh Boone's last performance, what Josh Boone did.
Go ahead.
So Grease Got a Hold. At one point, he's like, hear ye, hear ye. And you know how he tosses the grease to Daryl?
Yeah.
Daryl Tofa. Two-bit. He tosses it and he goes, give it back. Tosses it back to him and he goes, one more, and he tosses it to Two-Bit and he goes, give it back. Aww. He gets it and he then goes to every single person. He goes Ace and tosses it to Ace, Steve, everyone, and he walks over to Daryl, Brent Comer, and goes, I know you want it too, and tosses it to him, and he smiled and then he got it back. The band is just playing the intro over and over and over and over again. He's and then he walks up to Pony and he goes, you can only touch it. And Pony taps it and then they start. He was like, Johnny, Steve, Ace, toss it to everyone.
Aww.
But that's a moment where Brent Comer's acting is insane to me. And then another one is when they're singing Hood's Turned Heroes and they're holding the newspaper and he's like, show me, show me, show me. And he reads it and his face like lights up.
He's
and
so
in that
good.
moment, that's like the first time that he joins them and is dancing and is all excited.
Mm-hmm. For 1 minute, he gets to be happy.
Yeah. I actually know
He's
his
the
full
best.
choreography for that number because he's the only one I ever watch. Anyway, I'm opening.
You are so funny. I just don't want to stop talking about him.
We'll get to him during our Q&A, I'm sure.
True. Okay, wait. Before we get into the Q&A, I have to tell you about English. This is playing at the Todd Hames Theater, and it is a play. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what the synopsis is. So essentially, it is about this class of students of all ages who are preparing for their TOEFL exam, and they're Iranian and they're learning English. And it was fascinating because there was this really clever thing that they did. And you take a moment to catch on to what they're doing. But once you realize it, you're like, this is genius. Do you know what it is? Did I tell you already?
I'm seeing it next weekend.
Yeah. Okay. So the show begins and you start to realize the characters are going in and out of an accent. Sometimes they sound like they're Iranian and they're speaking like people who are trying to learn English for the first time. And then at other times they're sounding like an American and like they're fluent. And so you're kind of confused at first. What's going on? I at first totally blamed the actress because I was like, I'm totally lost. In 1 second she sounds this way, another second she sounds this way. Well, whenever they were speaking in Farsi, they would speak like an American because they would speak very quickly and they would be like, I don't understand why you're doing that. You don't understand da da da. But then whenever the teacher, because the only setting is at this classroom, the teacher would say English and then they would say it with like an accent of somebody who is learning English. It was very fascinating.
I can't wait to see it. I'm really excited. I've heard really good things.
It won the Nobel Prize, and I
the
can
Pulitzer
certainly.
Prize.
Oh shoot! Oh, maybe I didn't say that anywhere. I keep saying that the Pulitzer.
The Pulitzer.
Okay, I don't think I said it on the
I don't think
podcast
there's
because
a
I didn't
Nobel
talk about.
Prize for plays.
That's why I've been confused this whole time. That's why I've been confused. Okay, this is why it's so good to have somebody on the podcast with me to correct me. Won the Pulitzer, and I can certainly see why. It was fabulous. There were definitely some outstanding performances here, and I could certainly see it taking home some Tony Awards. Likely not for set. Acting, possibly, but that's always really difficult. My favorite performance came from Tala Ashe, who played Elham. And altogether, it was just like a really great ensemble piece. It's a 5-person cast, so it's really a intimate group, and you get to know them so well. That's like my favorite thing about plays is whenever you get to know each and every character so intimately, especially when it's one setting and it covers a couple of days. Well, probably more like a couple of months. But it was a really, really stunning play. I would certainly recommend seeing it. Just a very pleasant play. It leaves you with knowledge, but it doesn't leave you questioning your existence. And I feel like a lot of plays want you to do that, these days. They're like, we want you to see this play and rewrite how you think about things, like Job, like that sticks with you. This one, it's similar to like how Left on 10th kind of made me feel just like fulfilled. And like I saw a really great story play out and I was thoroughly entertained from start to finish.
Do you think it could win Best New Play?
What would it be against?
Job.
It definitely could.
Cult of Love. Eureka Day.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Maybe John Proctor is the villain.
Oh, Mary? Wouldn't that be in it? Wouldn't that be in that category?
Yeah.
It's always hard to say. I could see it being a contender. It'll be nominated, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Although it is running for a limited time. So,
yeah.
sometimes that's taken into account with the Tony Awards. Looking at your Broadway bingo.
Purpose.
Oh, I'm excited for Purpose.
I love Carrie Young.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and it's written by or created by the same person who did Appropriate.
Yes, Brent and Jacob Jenkins wrote it. Picture of Dorian Gray, I think, is new.
Oh, have you seen the stuff for that? I'm so
okay,
not.
guys. This was my dream the other night. I had a dream that I was at a grocery store that's non-existent, and it was near the corner, where the Music Box Theater is, which is where the Picture of Dorian Gray is going in. And while I was at this grocery store, which was a high rise, so it had windows that you could see out of. In this grocery store, I ran into both Andrew Barth Feldman and Miley Cyrus. And then I also was watching them through the window, and they were taking all the marquees down for the Picture of Dorian Gray. And I was like, oh my God, the Picture of Dorian Gray is not coming to Broadway. And all the Suffs pictures were behind them. So all the Suffs pictures were back. I was like, guys, Suffs is coming back to Broadway. But then I leave the grocery store, go downstairs, walk over. It was Broadway's first on-Broadway cabaret bar, and Justin Bieber was going to be the headliner for the first 3 months.
Anyways.
And then I woke up. But that's my level of excitement for the Picture of Dorian Gray. It's also would be against Hills of California, which people raved about.
It's already gone, though, right?
Yeah. There's lots of stuff. Anyway.
Let's get into our Q&A. So... my Instagram followers @from the mezzanine Broadway, if you want to go and follow. I asked for Q&A questions. We're going to answer a handful of them today. And if we don't get to your question, I'll likely do it in another podcast episode. So let's kick it off.
Our first question we're going to do is, what show are you looking forward to most in 2025? And that was asked by Seth G.1028.
For me, it's Floyd Collins. I'm really excited. And it's changing by the day, but I truly think if any show has the potential to be my next major hyperfixation, it is in fact Floyd Collins.
You know, I forgot about that one. That's honestly probably up there for me, but to change it up, I was thinking about this before. I'll do one Broadway and one off-Broadway. Broadway, I'm actually really excited to see Boo.
I knew it. I knew that was coming.
And
she won't let it go.
I won't let it go. Off-Broadway, I'm really excited about All Nighter.
Yeah, me too. I'm so excited about that.
So excited about that one. I think those are probably my two.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay, so this next one, I want to do it in our own way. And this is coming from Parker Freiberger, who, by the way, is a Broadway bestie over on the Patreon.
Hi, Parker.
Shout out. They say, do an in-depth analysis of your review on The Outsiders, but I want us to have a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute each?
Yeah. In-depth analysis of your review on The Outsiders. Okay. Are you ready? You're going first.
Okay.
1 minute starting now.
I believe that The Outsiders is one of the most well-rounded shows or new musicals that has come to Broadway in the last 5 years, I would say. It has the best combination of both acting of the cast, story, and score. I think the music in the show is brilliant with or without seeing it on stage. I think it's an album that really stands alone on itself. I think they did the casting so perfectly and gorgeously. I think
30 more seconds.
It was a very well done casting process. Not to mention the set, the lighting, and the sound are all three phenomenal. I think the ways that they've incorporated choreography into the show is also incredible. And I truly believe that the Rumble scene is the best 5 minutes of theater on Broadway. And it's probably the most powerful scene I've ever seen of a show in my entire life out of everything I've ever seen. And it just scratches a really good itch in my brain.
1. Very nice.
You can hire me if you want, Outsiders.
No, for real.
Whew, okay. Lindsay's turn.
Hold on.
3, 2, 1, go.
I do second everything that Bryn has previously said in her analysis of The Outsiders, but I would like to add a more in-depth analysis of some of the symbolism in the show. First and foremost, there are some key moments that occur while you are watching that really draw in the entire musical, such as the lines where Ponyboy says, "It's like I lit that damn house on fire." Guess what happens in Act 2, guys? He lights the damn house on fire at the church. Okay, there's other moments that are very similar to that, such as Dallas Winston is oftentimes referring to Johnny Cade as Little Brother, and then obviously his final song is Little Brother. And the one scene The pinnacle scene of The Outsiders.
10
seconds. The pinnacle scene of The Outsiders is whenever Dallas Winston says, Johnny, can you see me now? And then the train comes, 2, and then he's standing there, 1. And he's sobbing, and that's the best moment. Period.
Time's up. Good job. Sorry, I forgot to give you a 30-second
warning. Why did I speak so slowly for the first time in my life?
Didn't. I just forgot to give you a warning because I was so enthralled by your review.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you, Parker, for that question.
Thank
I
you.
liked that. Okay, our next question is by Emma C. Jackson. And the question is, what are your best stage door experiences and worst stage door experiences?
I love this question because you always remember your best and your worst.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently posted my worst on TikTok, which is a very vulnerable thing for me to do. And it was with one Colton Ryan at the New York stage door. It had been one of my best days ever because it was the first time I ever saw Lin-Manuel Miranda in my life. He was in the audience. I was freaking out. Lo and behold, the musical sucked.
Terrible.
And I was so excited for Colton Ryan because I had been listening to his music, Music Money Love. I loved it. And at the stage door, I was very new to stage dooring. I think this was at this point probably within my first 10 times doing a stage door. And I felt really uncomfortable videoing the actors. And so I was videoing him signing my playbill. I did not want to video his face. And apparently that looked suspicious because I asked him, and I was doing a thing on that trip. I wanted to ask like a planned question to every single actor. And it was just something fun me and my sisters were doing. Like we thought about the question and I asked him, how would you rank Music, Money, and Love? Should be the easiest question to answer. Like that's not a real thought. Like, of course, like, oh, love is the best, you know?
Yeah, it was a big plot line of the show.
And he just points at I asked the question and I'm just beaming. And he says, are you recording me? And sticks his finger in my phone, like right at the camera. It's really crazy. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Do you want me to turn it off? And I wasn't recording him. I was recording the playbill. Anyways, awkwardest interaction ever. And then I turned my camera back on because he was like, no, it's fine. And he said, you just look like a bootlegger. We're at the stage door, Colton Ryan. Isn't that so
terrible?
Weird. Anyways, I posted it and it went sort of viral and a ton of people were commenting their awkward stage door interactions and a ton of people were like, and why would he say that? And I still wonder, why would he say that? That is so, nothing about that is weird. Everybody has their phone out at a stage door.
So weird.
I really can't understand why he would say that. Anyways, that's my worst.
I have 2 contenders for worst. One is like because of my actor interaction and one is like fan interaction. One of them is from The Notebook. Carson Stewart was really mean to me.
What? Wait,
did I not tell you this?
I remember you telling me, but I forgot what happened.
So I have this notebook prop. It is the newspaper from The Notebook. And it is what Joy Woods like holds when she finds out that Noah or Ryan Vasquez is still alive. And I got this prop at the Broadway Flea. It was like $15. And I really wanted all the lead cast members to sign it. But I'm like so anxious at a stage door that I was just letting anybody sign it. But I would let like the not lead actor sign it on the bottom and then have the lead actor sign it on the top so I could frame it. Anyway. So it looked like I was handing them a random newspaper when it wasn't one of the leads because it wasn't the top where it said like the plot line. It was just a plain newspaper.
Yeah.
And every person who had seen it was like, what is this? Including Anna Zavelson, who was playing younger Allie at the time. Like they were all very confused. So Carson comes out and I go, like it's a prop from the show. I'm not trying to get you to sign a random newspaper. And he was like, I know that. I look at this every single day. And I was like, okay, like maybe it's not that rude, like, but he was not joking and he just signed it and walked to the next person. And I was like,
oh, that's weird.
Okay. Meanwhile, everyone else was like, whoa, that's so cool. Like Anna, who I talked to, she was like, I can't believe I've never even looked at this. Like, it's not even a photo of Ryan. Like, oh my God, that's so cool. I have to look around more. Like, so nice. And he was just so like, yeah, I know. I look at this every day. And then walked away.
So weird.
And I was
so
like,
awkward.
you just don't have to be like, just be like, hi, yeah, and sign it.
Or just be like, okay. Like, you don't need to be rude. And all is this to say, we don't know what kind of day they had.
No, of course.
But like, and we don't hate them for it. Carson, you seem like a great person.
Great person.
Very sweet. But, you know, these are just our awkward stories.
And then my fan one is just like, the craziness of the Romeo and Juliet stage door is just like really unfortunate. I get it. Like, it's hard if you're at the back and you're trying to reach forward, but I have been like actually felt like I was going to fall over because people are pushing so hard from behind. There are videos of like Kate Connor being like, guys, stop. And then the security guard having to be like, if you do not stop, he's leaving, because people are pushing so aggressively.
That's so scary.
What's your best?
Okay, best. The first thing that comes to mind is Leslie Odom Jr. at Pearly
That was
Victorious.
mine.
Oh, really?
That was mine.
No, he's the best. Yeah. And we waited for over an hour for him when we went. We waited for forever. But let me tell you, not just him, the entire cast of Pearly was so nice. They were so passionate about their show. When they came out to the stage door, they were like, tell your friends, bring everybody. One guy gave me his business card because
I have Leslie Odom Jr.'s assistant's email.
Yeah. And then when Leslie came out, he spent so much time with each individual, and he took a photo with us, and he just like the way he just put his arm around us, it was just like, we're home. Like, he was just so warm and sweet and an angel of a human. Angel.
I have another one that I'll do. I had two. One was Leslie Odom Jr. My other one is Darren Criss at Maybe Happy Ending.
Oh yeah.
We had the nicest conversation ever. I told him about how my mom used to work with Corey Monteith, and he was like, what's your mom's name? What did they work on together? I told him how I was on the Glee set. He was like, it's so nice to see you again. What's your name? He touched my arm at the end and was like, hope you come back. Like, it was the nicest. It was so lovely.
I had the awkwardest interaction with Darren, not on his behalf. So basically what happened, it was hilarious. It was the first time we saw Maybe Happy Ending. And the girl who was right in front of us was inconsolable. She was like, I've never seen anybody.
Wow.
She was sobbing and just like absolutely losing it over Darren. And Darren was a mensch. He was so nice. He was like, where are you from? She wasn't from America. And he like talked to her and he said, I want to hug you, but I'm worried if I hug you, you'll combust. And she's like, what? And then they hugged, and I videoed their whole interaction. And then after, I walked over and I was like, do you want this? And she was like, yes, yes, yes. And so I sent it to her. But then we were next. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to record my friend, which was an awkward decision to do when it's me. Like, I don't understand why I didn't want him to sign my playbill and have like a moment with him as well. I think I just felt really awkward after that girl went. I was like, I'm just going to record him talking to my friend who loves him. And then he like kept kind of looking at me like he wanted to say something to me also to include me. And it was just really awkward, but it was not his fault. It's funny though.
Yeah, that's funny. I had really good interactions with that whole cast. They were all so lovely.
They are.
And like really engaged in conversation. Also when I met Liam Pierce at the stage door for How to Dance in Ohio, he was so nice.
Oh, I never stage doored that show.
He was so lovely.
Oh, well, we love Liam.
Yeah. Favorite piece of Broadway merch you own? And that was asked by Sweet Caroline 54.
It's funny you ask.
Oh God, of course she has it.
I actually have a new YouTube video coming out called My Broadway Prized Possessions.
That's
already
fun.
Posted. And these are featured amongst them. These are my favorite Broadway prized possessions. I have my Gutenberg hat, my From the Mezzanine hat that Bryn got me. These are my favorite merch.
I'm wearing the Helvetica one for those who aren't watching. Lindsay has both the From the Mezzanine and the Gutenberg one on.
Yeah, these are my favorite.
That's good. That's good.
Good memories. Good memories.
I'm trying to think of mine.
It's got to be merch, not like a thing.
Like not like a giveaway or something. Like merch.
Yeah.
Honestly, my two sweaters that I realized I have the Shucked sweater and then my Shiz University sweater. And if you don't know what either of them are, they're both like a play on swear words.
Oh.
Which is interesting.
That is funny.
And I work with kids a lot, so I don't really ever wear them like when I'm at work or anything.
I never thought shiz was a play on a curse word.
Well, to me, like, oh, shiz.
Yeah, but they don't ever say shiz.
No, but if you don't know what Shiz University is.
Sure. No,
I just have a sweater that says Shiz Massive.
I just never thought about that.
I don't think it's intentionally that.
Okay.
I also have a t-shirt from Kimberly Akimbo and from The Outsiders.
What's your favorite? Come on.
Oh, my favorite is my parade t-shirt that has Ben Platt's face on it.
There you have it. Next.
There you go. Sorry, I really had to think about that one. Oh, this one's fun. This is from McKenna Doe. Hi, McKenna. We've met up in the Outsiders Fresh Line. If you had the chance to write a musical with anyone, who would it be and why?
Do you have an answer?
I do.
Okay, I have an answer.
My answer's with Lindsay.
My answer's with Brent too.
Her answer's for sure with Lin-Manuel Miranda.
No, I have a whole idea.
Okay, I'm excited.
Wait, what are we writing?
I don't know. I just thought we could write a really fun musical.
From the Mezzanine, the musical?
Oh, God.
I'm the star. What are we writing?
Like, logically,
Let's
is it the best
it.
answer? No, but it was the first answer that came to mind was us writing
As
one
it should be.
together.
What are we writing? We're writing my musical. Okay, here's my musical.
Okay, well, I also
happen.
had another thought that just came to my mind.
Okay, all right.
Fiyero before Wicked.
Sexy.
Like his life.
Yup.
Yeah. I think that
It's
could
going
be good.
against everything Wicked stands for and putting
Yeah.
two lead females at the helm. But this is what we need. This is what we need. We need Fiyero the musical. Fiyero Tiglo.
Yeah.
Winky Country.
Yes. The musical is called Winky Country.
The musical is called Tight Pants. The musical.
Or we could write a really cute story just like about like two friends. Like we could write about us.
No, we're doing Fiyero.
Okay.
Other than that, it would literally just be Wicked. Two cute friends. Like, hello.
Two
Cute friends.
Okay.
Sharing
What's
one
yours?
Wonderful. My idea for a musical, and nobody steal this because this has been an original thought of mine. I was in a playwriting class in college, and ever since then, this has been I want to do. What?
Maybe don't put it on the internet.
Too bad I'm putting it there because McKenna asked. So here's my idea. Have you heard Casey Musgrave's Butterflies album? It won the
Probably some of
Grammy.
it.
You give me butterfly eyes. And it's like,
Yeah.
High
Okay.
Horse. That is a musical. That album, it won Album of the Year at the Grammys. And it is such a beautiful album. It paints a story. Her lyrics are so artistic that they lend themselves so easily to a musical. And I want the Casey Musgraves musical. Although I don't think it's like her story. It wouldn't be like Dolly Parton, the musical with Dolly Parton songs. It would be a new story just using her songs in that
So
album.
you're writing
That's
it
what I
with
want.
Casey Musgraves.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because she, wrote the music. So we probably, it would be like kind of like Hell's Kitchen, I guess.
You know what we
Like
should write
that
a
vibe.
musical about?
What?
A cardboard box factory and use all the songs from Huey Lewis and the News.
I don't think
Oh,
that's ever
wait.
been done.
They did that.
They did. They sure did. Okay, let's do one more. Pick your
Okay.
favorite.
We're going to end with TD8200_. Thank you. Love your profile pic. It's from Moulin Rouge. And your question is advice for someone considering moving to New York City.
Okay. My advice. Well, everybody lives differently here. For example, it depends on, like, Bryn is a student. She wants to live in Manhattan. She has roommates. I live with my fiance in Brooklyn. But there's a lot of people think New York City is unattainable. You just have to figure out your route to get here. And if you are okay with extreme weather, in my opinion, it's extreme.
She's such a Southern girl.
Horrible smells. Sometimes unkind people, and being able to, like, life is not easy here. Life is amazing here, but life is not easy. To do your laundry, to get groceries, to go anywhere, it is like a whole major effort that other places I feel don't have. So if all of that is still appealing, then you should most certainly live here because living here is amazing. So that's my advice. Just like do soul searching to ensure that you would be happy here because it's so different living here than visiting here. But also it's really not too because you can go and do so many of the things that you always wanted to do when you live here. It's like whenever I didn't live here, I would always see all the events and the shows and everything that I was missing, and that sucked. So being able to do all of those things and connect with the creative people that I want to see and like be friends with, it's awesome. And plus, something I thought was going to be really hard about moving here was making friends, and it wasn't at all. That's my advice.
Love you.
Your turn.
I think if you have the inkling to do it or any desire to do it, just do it. I think this was like a dream of mine for so long that I always kind of was like, no, I'm not actually going to do that. I'm not actually going to do that. And it is probably the best decision I've ever made in my entire life.
Yeah.
And it's changed my life forever. No matter if I live here for the rest of my life or not, it's changed my life. And I think take advantage of every experience and opportunity you get. And if moving to New York is something you want to do and you can do, then do it. I will say the city is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Money goes faster here than in other places.
Yeah.
But it has been worth it times a billion.
Yeah. I think if you're in a stable place, there's a way to live here within your means for everybody. It might mean having more roommates. And if that's a sacrifice you're willing to make, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
T.
It's the best city in the world.
Greatest city in the world.
Let's end on one more.
Will you ever finish my duet? That was our last one.
No, I want to do this one because I think we're going to have the exact same answer.
Okay.
This is from Laura_Napier.
Okay.
F, marry, kill.
Okay.
Ponyboy, Daryl, Soda. Okay. We are going to F. 3, 2.
Wait, no.
You don't know?
I have to process it.
Oh my
F, marry,
gosh.
kill, Daryl, Ponyboy, and Soda. Okay.
We are going to F. 3, 2, 1.
Soda Pop.
We're going to marry Daryl.
Daryl. You didn't say 3, 2,
Sorry, I
1.
didn't count down. And we're going to kill Ponyboy.
Ponyboy.
Easy. Easy money.
I did that with Melody Rose, that exact thing, and I'm pretty sure that's what she said too.
Yeah, it's easy. I could marry Soda.
I would marry
though.
Soda.
Yeah.
If he asked.
Yeah.
He's not asking. So
should we move on to
I
Broadway
say with a ring on my
grosses?
hand. Yep.
I
Let's
have
get
no
into
ring,
it.
so
I have no ring. I have no ring.
no ring. Luckily, I have ring.
That's exactly what I thought. Luckily, I have ring. I have no ring. Okay.
Cha-ching!
Here we go, guys. It's Broadway grosses time. I don't think you're ready for these grosses. I don't think you're ready.
I can't believe.
Okay, number 1 at the top of the list, we have Wicked. Number 2 is a newcomer. Holy cannoli. This has not happened. Unprecedented. All in a comedy about love is numero dos. $300,000 below Wicked. That is crazy. It was with Jimmy Fallon, so obvi.
And half the seats.
That's insane.
It was Jimmy Fallon for sure.
Lion King is 3. Gypsy is holding true at number 4. Is that surprising to you?
Kind of.
It was surprising to me last week.
I just didn't
number 3.
I mean, I knew it would do well, but I didn't think they were going to like sell out like that. But I guess I
Above Hamilton.
underestimated how big that theater is.
Okay, that's valid. Hamilton is number 5. Sunset Boulevard is 6. Outsiders is 7. Death Becomes Her is 8. This is what we like to see, all these new shows. MJ the Musical is 9 and Aladdin is 10. Right below that is The Great Gatsby. This is accounting for Eva Noblezada's last night. And then I think we'll have a couple of shows and then Sarah Hyland joins, or does Sarah
she doesn't
Hyland
join till Monday, the 10th.
So I'm very intrigued to see how her arrival will change these grosses. Let's look at the bottom.
And Juliet was at 98% capacity. So that to me seems like Joey Fatone from NSYNC is definitely making a difference.
I think he is.
Because that's the highest I've seen them in a while.
Our lowest grossing musical is A Wonderful World, which we spoke about last week, is closing soon.
I did just see it.
Oh, yeah. No comment?
No comment. Set was great. I thought the set and the lighting was really nice.
The second lowest grossing musical is Redwood.
So, okay. Listen to this. Adina was out for 2 shows. And
oh, she was? I didn't know that.
She was out Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. And the fact that I missed Jessica Phillips' debut.
You're fine.
I know. I'll go back. But listen to how crazy this is. Even if you went and saw Jessica Phillips, they are giving you free tickets to go back and see Adina.
Wow. That's
like
cool.
Not like, okay, if you don't want to come, we'll replace your tickets.
Yeah.
You also can come see Adina.
That's cool. Why? That's weird.
I don't know. I mean, they were under 90% capacity. I wonder if any of that is because of
I'm sure
her being out for 2 shows.
It definitely is.
But
we need to track this. This is very interesting. I have heard negative things about Redwood, but I am seeing it soon, and you will get my breakdown then.
They did post some production photos, and they're very interesting.
I'm so intrigued.
They're
I don't think it's going to be my favorite
climbing gear.
Yeah, I know. It's
hanging from the ceiling.
Apparently, the dogs are out. The Toesy Woesies are all over that stage.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's true. Let's get into our news.
Even if I don't like it, I'll see it twice because I'll go see Jessica.
Because you want to see the feet twice.
For the feet.
I'm going to see Redwood for the feet.
In case you didn't know this, Jessica Phillips is one of my favorite actresses of all time. And actually, honestly, like her and Ben Levi Ross and Dear Evan Hansen was the first show I saw post-pandemic. And it was the first show that, like, that night got me back into musical theater. And I just distinctly remember that weekend I was at the hotel the last night crying. And I was like, I need to move here. Like, I need to do this. And here we are. I did it.
And you told her that.
And I told her that.
Full circle.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
I love her.
Pretty cool. Our first news story, guys. This is something that I am elated to share. It is unexpected, but it is so dearly welcomed. Titus Burgess will be stepping into the role of Mary Todd Lincoln at Oh Mary.
Pretty iconic.
This is so iconic because Cole Escala said on Las Culturistas, which is the podcast with Bo and Yang, that if they could have anybody play Mary Todd Lincoln, they would have wanted Titus Burgess. That was Cole's dream role person to come in and play it.
That's iconic.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And so, like, why wouldn't Titus do it?
Well, Titus Andromedon, he is quite the icon, diva, legend. And I will say, I did not see him in Moulin Rouge, but I did go to his stage door and I spoke to him and he was so nice. I was expecting like Alex Newell level diva. I can't even tell you why, probably just because I've seen him on Kimmy Schmidt and he's deserving of it. He's very esteemed. And no, he was so personable, so sweet. We took a photo with him. Didn't even see the show that night, which I think is fine to do. Just saying. But yeah, I loved him. And he's gonna be hysterical in this show. I'm gonna try and see it again. I really am. I'm gonna wait it out. He's only gonna be in it for 3 weeks. He's going to be stepping into the role from March 18th to April 6th, and they've been selling tickets through June.
Yeah, end of June, I think.
So people are assuming Cole might step back into the role to finish it out, which I think is so obvious. And of course, that's
and like right before Tony's.
Yes. That's a perfect time to close. Yeah. This is going to win Best New Musical, period.
But yes.
Play. Yeah, you got me. Titus Burgess said in a statement, "Oh, Mary blew me away when I saw it on Broadway. Cole Escala is a genius. The show is fresh and impossibly funny. I understand the role of Mary Todd Lincoln maybe a little too well. I'm over the moon with joy that I get to join the company at the Lyceum Theater."
Very exciting for that.
I'm so lit. I am so lit. I can't wait.
Maybe I'll see it again. You're hyping me up a lot.
I can't wait. He's going to be so funny. I think I might. No. I might like his performance more than Cole. And that's what Cole was saying about if Titus comes into the role, that they would be like, maybe you're too good, Titus. Like, maybe you shouldn't do it. Maybe you're too good.
That's funny.
Yeah.
We'll see.
In the little bratty curls.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I see it. It's going to be funny.
And I really think his physical comedy is going to be so good.
You're so right.
In the big dress and like throwing up into the pail.
Yeah, like the curls, point where they're like trying to fit through the door.
The cabaret at the end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I need to see it. But 3 weeks.
I'm sold.
That doesn't give us a lot of time at all. We're going to have to rush it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very hot ticket to get.
Maybe a Friday rush.
All right.
Pick a Friday.
All right, girl. All right. Next up, we have some Grammys news that has been requested that we speak about because I'm annoyed. I'm rolling my eyes for those of you who are not watching. And I'll explain why. I'm not just being a horrible woman towards Hell's Kitchen, a witch. But
I can't even talk about it.
Hell's Kitchen won the Grammy for Best Musical. And this is inappropriate for a few reasons. First and foremost, it's a jukebox musical. That album has already grown to acclaim. It already had its moment. It is so good. It is so good, but it is not original. And an honoree of the night was Alicia Keys, and that is why I think they gave it to her, because in the announcement they said, and she won the Grammy today for Hell's Kitchen. When it's really and honestly and truly not deserving. I hate saying that, but it's true.
No, I fully agree. I am so like, I was very intent on watching the pre-show because I wanted to watch when they announced musical theater album. And my sister was like, who do you want to win? I'm like, obviously I want the Outsiders to win, but I actually won't care if it's not the Outsiders as long as it's not Hell's Kitchen.
So the nominees were Merrily We Roll Along. That would have been like, okay, obvious choice.
Yeah.
The Notebook, which if they would have won, I would have been proud for them. Like I really,
and Ingrid Michaelson is like involved in the music community, and it's a very like approachable musical theater album. Mm-hmm. So I actually thought The Notebook had a chance.
I think that it did, and it wouldn't have been nominated if it didn't. The Outsiders, of course, was nominated. Suffs was nominated. That one at the Tonys. Let me say, The Wiz also was nominated. I don't even understand why the Tonys pretend that they care and why they even have this category. I really think that they honestly shouldn't.
Grammys?
Oh, yeah. I don't think the Grammys should even have this category because who are they to award this? Truly. Musicals are so different. Did they come and see the musical or did they just listen to it? You know?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but also like it's so sick that Sky Lakota Lynch can now for the rest of his career say he's a Grammy nominee.
Yeah, but like I just think
like
it's
Ben
weird
Platt
that they
has a
have
Grammy because of Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah.
Like Ben Platt is only one award away from an EGOT, and all three were because of random Dear Evan Hansen things.
That's crazy.
He has an Emmy for a TV daytime performance of Dear Evan Hansen.
They'll give you Emmys for anything.
Literally, but so he just needs an Oscar.
That's wild.
So
I don't know. I just think it's bizarre that they even pretend that they care about musicals. And it's same for the Oscars. They categorize comedy and musical together.
Weird.
That's so inappropriate. Have you seen Emilia Perez? It's not a comedy. Not that they're saying that it is, but these two things are so vastly different. They cannot be compared to each other.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyways, whatever. Good for Hell's Kitchen. I'm happy that Malia Joy Moon, Shoshana Bean, Brandon Victor Dixon, and Keisha Lewis can say that they are Grammy Award winning. That's amazing. Hell's Kitchen honestly kind of needed this boost. Not that I think it's going to make a huge difference, but maybe it will. Because they're slowly but surely dropping in the grosses. Nothing to be concerned about. But it's just like, why did they give it? Obviously, just because Alicia's the honoree.
100%.
Annoying. Okay. Last news story is we have our next round of Wicked the Musical casting. So.
I can't even. I'm so excited.
Very exciting. They're doing it right for the first time ever.
Right.
Yeah. So Tony nominee Natasha Yvette Williams from Some Like It Hot will be our Madame Morrible. She's fabulous.
She was just in Chicago, but she left right before I saw it.
She was probably my favorite part about Some Like It Hot, which honestly isn't saying much, but she was really good in it. Jenna Bainbridge, who we love from Suffs. And I will say, in Suffs, her vocal abilities weren't really on display. I am just negative Nelly, apparently, but whenever I saw Wicked, the Nessa, her vocals were not up to par.
Do you remember what we said about it?
What did we say?
She felt like community theater.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to say when we saw it, but it was really not good. Great. And so I had to look up videos of Jenna Bainbridge singing, and she's very good.
Oh, is she? Because she was an understudy in Suffs too, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe not.
But no, she's really good. There are videos of her singing at 54 Below, and I just know she's going to do Nessa right. And we have Daniel Quadrino, who was in The Who's Tommy.
Oh.
Do we know him from anything else? He's so familiar.
I don't know who he is.
Oh, okay. I kept thinking I've seen him in something.
He posted a bunch of stuff online about Wicked. I think maybe he was like a cover or someone on tour or something before. Or maybe a TikTok person. I don't know.
So Jenna Bainbridge will be the first ever wheelchair-using actor to play the role of Nessa Rose. And of course, this is coming at the time of Lincia Cabetta, who is going to be our first full-time Black actress to play Elphaba. So it's a historic moment over at Wicked the Musical. It only took 20 years, but we got to celebrate it nevertheless. And
I have full body chills.
It's going to be beautiful. And I just feel like they're doing something right. And it eats me alive that they didn't do it sooner, but that's all.
I remember, you can find the podcast clip from like last March. Mm-hmm. And we were talking right after the full casting for Suffs.
Oh, yeah.
Came out. Yes. And I was talking about Jenna Bainbridge because she was the first wheelchair user to originate a role in a musical on Broadway. Ali Stroker had obviously been on Broadway before, but she did not originate the role. And I was so excited to see her. And seeing her was amazing. And I think the role that representation plays in this world is so big. And thinking about Wicked being a show that a lot of kids go to see, kids being able to see someone in a show that maybe looks different than what they would usually expect and know that like they can do that is the most beautiful thing to me. I've worked with a lot of kids who like use mobility aids and wheelchairs, and knowing that that is going to be a picture that they can imagine themselves doing. Like the movie is one thing. Obviously the representation in the movie is incredible. And now also having that on stage, it's really special.
Beautifully
really,
put.
Really, really special.
It totally is. Yeah, that's awesome.
It's really special.
And that's our last news story. We're so excited. I definitely want to see this latest casting of Wicked.
Me too. I love Ali Trim.
Who was in 13 the Musical with Ariana Grande back in the Disney, which is just a fun fact.
Who we have tickets to see at 54 Below on Monday.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that. Slay. So we're seeing a 54 Below show on Monday. They
were bought so last minute.
We're seeing maybe Happy Ending on Wednesday.
Yes.
For the fan event.
Yes.
And then I'm seeing You're in Town next weekend.
Yes.
And you're seeing You're in Town and Romeo and Juliet.
I'm seeing a lot next weekend.
Well, folks, that's this episode of From the Mezzanine. You can find From the Mezzanine on Instagram and TikTok at From the Mezzanine Broadway. Go and make sure you're subscribed on YouTube if you aren't already. Also at From the Mezzanine Broadway. Brittany?
I am at Bryn Harvey Raymond on every platform.
You can become a Broadway bestie and get access to the catalog of Meet Me at the Stage Doors. Bryn is staying on for the Meet Me at the Stage Door right after this. We're going to do some fun chit chat, like a little bit of dicey. We bring the tea on From the Mezzanine, but the Meet Me at the Stage Door, it's really stripped back, and we're going to let her rip. And there's some gossip and tea I want to get your opinion on that's not exactly ready for From the Mezzanine just yet. It's not ready to be public facing. So you can join the Patreon at www.patreon.com/FromTheMezzanine. It's $5.99 a month. And shout out to you guys because you keep From the Mezzanine moving on forward. And thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see y'all next Tuesday.
Thank
Bye.
you. Hi, Dad.